for their leadership and efforts in hosting this preparatory seminar ahead of COP28, which is going to take place in UAE. And it is, we feel confident that under UAE leadership, COP28 will give boost to global climate action and global climate commitments which have already been made. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan is fully cognizant of the urgency of taking actions on climate change and is committed to playing a constructive and facilitative role in UAE. Our aim would be to help ensure that we collectively take decisions that enable us to arrest the scourge of climate change. Climate change, as we all know, is an existential threat, and we are all at a watershed moment in our collective efforts to combat it. We in Pakistan are experiencing its impacts far too often. The devastation caused last year by the floods and again this year are reminders we do not need. As the UN Secretary General said recently, the age of global warming has ended and the age of global. Yet progress on climate finance, to put it mildly, remains limited. Despite negotiations for years, we have failed to even agree on the basics, a definition of climate finance. Developed countries are yet to meet their commitment of mobilizing US dollars 100 billion per year by 2030. Despite discussions spanning 2 years, there is hardly any progress on the post-2025 climate finance goal. We are yet to see the promised 50-50 balance in adaptation and mitigation finance. The promise of doubling adaptation finance made in Glasgow remains just that, a promise. And we still sense resistance to operationalizing the loss and damage fund for all vulnerable developing countries, irrespective of their economic status and geographical groupings. My dear friends, colleagues, distinguished guests, in addition to the strong outcomes on climate finance, let me enumerate some of our other expectations from UAE COP28. The global stocktake is a global report card of sorts, mandated under the Paris Agreement. We are all collectively expected to assess where things went wrong and how to course correct every 5 years. Success of COP28, we feel, will be defined by the outcome of the first GST, a process that has been ongoing for almost 2 years. And we will continue and will conclude in UAE. We hope its successful conclusion will provide a recipe for a global course correction through, firstly, keeping the 1.5 degree temperature goal of the Paris Agreement within reach. Developed countries must take the lead in raising global mitigation ambition, commensurate with their economic weight and historical responsibility, and then helping developing countries do the same. Secondly, effectively responding to loss and damage. This includes operationalization of a fund that is able to raise new, additional, predictable, adequate public grant-based financing. And thirdly, achieving global resilience through adaptation. Adaptation remains a critical priority for developing countries. COP28 must deliver an ambitious outcome in the form of a framework for the global goal on adaptation with clear targets and indicators, including regular monitoring of progress. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change is a global problem that needs global solutions. If we continue to think individually as us and them, we will not be able to find those solutions. We must start thinking collectively for the future of our coming generations. Only then solutions can be and will be found. And I am confident that under the dynamic leadership of UAE, we will be able to rise above our own narrow priorities, think big, and agree on solutions that will help us save our people and our planet. I thank you all once again.